10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick.
Oracle.
Dire team pick.
Earth Spirit.
Dire team pick.
Outworld Devourer.
Radiant team pick. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining.
The dulcet tones of John Coltrane with us head ourselves into the Armageddon of another CIS Dota 2 match. It's going to be absolute anarchy as we got ourselves straight back into things. Team Spirit taking on HellRaisers here in the WePlay Season 3 CIS Groupstage Season 3. And the draft, well, it's already begun, it's already progressed, it's already got a bunch of heroes picked and banned. I can welcome in my co-caster Nahaz because we're seeing another game, Oracle, OD, and Earth Spirit. How do you feel?
10 straight games, man. This is, I think, in the last 10 HellRaisers drafts, Oracle has been banned twice, and in the remaining 8 now, he's been first picked. So there you go. Going straight to form. The only thing I would say about this draft so far, obviously the Invoker ban out by HellRaisers. They've seen what Iceberg can do on that hero today. They're going to force him to play as OD, but again, totally comfortable with that hero as well. I do question the Batrider pick into an Earth Spirit and an OD. Those are two heroes that can really disrupt Batrider initiations. And as we talked about in one of our matches earlier, Batrider, a hero now, you've seen a lot of that from Alliance. He's not the dominating lane presence he once was. He's still a very good team fighter, but he really needs those initiations to work out in order to have an impact on the game.
Something also worth noting here is that both of these teams have played today already in WePlay. HR had a decent game against Empire. You know, it wasn't spectacular. It was you know, down to the draft. We kind of looked at it and thought, well, Empire, they're gonna kind of steamroll this. But HellRaisers, they showed great signs of life and kind of fighting back against the Empire, while Spirit just coming off the back of a defeat against Tornado Rocks. So morale might be down, so they had a little bit of a break. They had what, like 10-15 minutes, go outside, have a bit of fresh air, chat about things, and see how they could do things differently. And this time, coming out roaring. Taking out Lone Druid, Vengeful Spirit, the Viper, and now the Winter Wyvern, because they want to go for a win.
Radiant team pick.
Ah.
You've sort of seen the two sides, though, of Team Spirit today. We talked about this earlier. We talked about this in both of the matches, that they've been transitioning recently to playing Ramses in a little bit more of a stable role. And I feel like the first match of the day, they picked him on Gyrocopter. He did exactly what you would want a Gyrocopter to do. He TP'd to the mid tower at 7 minutes in for a gank, to respond to a gank. Got himself off to a really good start. And then that Ursa pick in the last match is just something you have to shake off. It just was not an Ursa game. He had a really tough time. I don't necessarily think it's his fault. So I think they should be fine coming into this game. I just want to see, I want to see them go right back to the Gyrocopter pick, honestly, here, pairing up with the Wisp. Or even, I don't necessarily think you go with the Tiny here, because I think you really want OD, Iceberg's OD mid.
Where they go with things. HellRaisers, though, they've got initiation from Bat. Like you said, it's going to be a little bit rough against OD and Earth Spirit, but they've got the Oracle. Maybe back him up and out of danger. Now, they still need to bolster this lineup pretty heavily. Like, Laning stage here looks a little bit awkward for HellRaisers. They still need a lot of damage to go with the Batrider Lasso. They still need some kind of pushing power to actually take down buildings. It's tanking for them. It looks like laning phase is just going to be roam, kill, look for kills and kills and kills. Well, HellRaisers, laning stage has to go perfectly. If they start losing out early on, the Batrider doesn't get into his blink, the Sand King looks lackluster with only Arcane Boot like 20 minutes in. Their cores have to be not just active cores, but hyperactive one, I feel.
I don't know. I think that there's something to that. The biggest thing is that you need to have at least one of Batrider or Sand King get off to a pretty good start, because both of them have that nice jungle comeback mechanism, but they obviously both can't take advantage of it at the same time. Now, Team Spirit are going to go ahead and go with the Tiny here, which leads to me the question. I really like Tiny IO as a dual mid lane so much better, especially on the Dire side. So the question to me is, do they shift that Iceberg OD up into the top lane?
Entirely possible. Over the past week or so, we've seen a number of people try that OD safe lane, and to some success. I'd actually be interested. I might do that after this game. Go and look at the stat. There's a way, right? You can see laning configuration of heroes and everything.
Yeah, that's available. You just not all the games are going to be parsed, but that's under stats lane in that data.
That'd be kind of interesting to see, like the win rate of safe lane OD, because skipping over that bottle and not kind of limiting yourself to necessarily need that for your regen, and just being that safe lane farmer that gets to laning time. Because he's a bully in lane, he can force back a lot of these offlaners away from himself, he can farm decently, and if he gets that good head start, he is an absolute monster. Like level 8, level 9, and just teeping around killing people.
Yeah, for what it's worth, it's like 10 and 9 OD on the safe lane in this patch, so it's
okay.
He's been okay, but I still like him a little more as a mid laner.
Definitely is a lane dominator. Queen of Pain for HellRaisers. Now final bans out. Team Spirit, they've got 2 of their cores, 2 of their supports, more likely than not. Well, HellRaisers still that safe lane carry, so the Spectre going to be the one to get banned out. What do we have left? There's the Gyro that you keep calling for. The Juggernaut is still out there, but again, we've seen today what I was saying earlier. He's just not that favorable anymore for these teams.
Yeah, and I think it's just more a case of the meta stabilizing and teams figuring out how to counter certain strats than it is anything about the hero in particular. Both of these teams, Team Spirit obviously need their offlaner here, and I think you could just go ahead and pick the Beastmaster for that attack speed aura. It benefits both OD and Tiny so much.
Oh yeah, Beastmaster
and Beastmaster Wisp is really, really good.
Yeah, super against Queen of Pain, so she can't blink away. Pretty good against the Legion.
They're going to go with another lockdown option. Interesting.
Still a way to get onto that target, keep them held in place, and have the relocate time to arrive on the scene. Now, HellRaisers, what is your plan? Oracle Sand King +1. They do have a good amount of stuns, decent damage. They need someone to kind of finish the job against the Legion Commander, who's going to be sticky in this lane, healing up with crazy attack, throwing out these overwhelming odds, and proccing. Moment of courage.
Okay, so this is, this almost has to be their safe laner. Knowing how HellRaisers play, this is going to be a Shashlet Batrider. It's certainly going to be, probably going to be an Affinity. Yeah, and they're going to go with their Slark, which is kind of a standby. Relative. He is probably by far the most decorated pro player ever on this hero. The games that he's put together on Slark, the aggression that he's able to bring is tremendous. But again, similar to what we were saying in the last match, Spirit just have a lot of lockdown options in terms of controlling the Slark.
For those of you just joining us, we are running a little bit behind schedule. This is, of course, still Team Spirit against HellRaisers. Coming up after this will be London Conspiracy against Adfinum. We head ourselves into EU West, and then Prius up against Samurai Champloo. So we've got a couple more best of ones coming up later. We're basically one game shifted out of sync with the actual schedule. It's a little bit sad, but stuff happens.
Please, it's esports, man, and those were like 3 hours behind schedule. It's not even.
I'm just mentioning it for the guys that come in from Dota 2 Lounge. Like, where's the game? I bet on this game. What's going on? Am I going to win by rares? Oh, you win nothing. You win nothing. Good day, sir. Yeah, from Sharchlow very early with no items. Has to bring them out to himself on the courier. Secure this observer ward though, up on the high ground. Sure he sees, because he doesn't want to block this large camp so he can farm it himself. He wants that vision moving between Rune Spot and the top lane. exactly when he's been kind of rotated on, maybe even in his own jungle area. Large camp around, does always want to fly, rolling himself across. So getting a good aggressive ward out. Oh, they saw him. They saw him.
Right. Yep. And that's why a lot of people question the use of that 135 gold to TP out and place wards, but that's why you do it, because when you don't, it's so easy for the enemy team to pinpoint. And that's something that we've been looking at increasingly in the stats lately, that early D wards are very, very bad for your chances to win.
How much gold to
30
TP?
seconds to battle.
Oh god, it's like 75 now. Oh my lord, wow. Okay, old man Dota.
Old man.
Senior moment. Senior moment.
I sat here for 2 seconds. I mean, TP plus wards is 135, and I realized that's not it. Yeah, I have to call you out from time to time to make myself look good, Nahaz. Don't worry.
I love it. You gotta be edgy, Durka.
Of course. Gotta spam those memes.
Might be in a spot of trouble here. Nope. Okay, the Earth Spirit stun doesn't connect.
Fine for now. So it's Iceberg Tiny. We're heading towards mid lane with Godblack on the Wisp, of course, up at top. He's Outworld Devourer and always want to fly on the Earth Spirit. Going to be dealing with Shatflow's offlane Bat Rider.
Okay. So this is going to be interesting because one of the things that I think you always have to ask about, Spirit really is a team that I do, again, think has a lot of potential, but it can be very informative to see these teams step outside their comfort zone. So far, they've been incredibly formulaic in terms of running Iceberg on OD, Invoker, or Zeus mid. And this is one of the few games that we're going to get to see them outside of that formula.
Ramsey's on his OD. How he does in the safe lane. Down at bot, Legion Commander. Oh, there's Essence Shift taken up at level 1 by Illidan. So already raining out these stats. Afterlife with overwhelming odds at level 1. Try and CS with this as efficiently as he can, but the dual lane mid against the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain is probably one of the better heroes to deal with this.
Got him, just go. Just got him, go.
Woohoo, what?
Got him has an Invis rune, or has a smoke on the Sand King here, and look to be in position to get a pretty easy kill on the Legion Commander.
Biding his time, they might go now. He's moved a little bit too far forward. That fraction of movement to get the overwhelming odds. Be trapped in place at the Fortune's End, and Illidan, he doesn't have the pounce, but he doesn't need it. First blood. Go to your goddamn Sand King.
First blood on the sand.
Pushes him closer to those tranquil boots that we've been seeing a lot from these kind of roaming SKs.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Wait and see. Does he go for Arcanes with that nice boost of gold? Does he go for the Tranquils? That roaming presence? Movement speed? Soon. But yeah, Queen of Pain against the Tiny Wisp. One of the few heroes that could do decently here, just the fact that Queen of Pain and Zeus are like two of the better ones to sit back, try and get last hits, scream out, throw the Shadow Strike down to harass. It's the blink, the mobility from the Queen of Pain that gives her the ability to maybe get out of these situations where Tiny runs forward with the Avalanche Toss. They're going to go in for a 4v4 or 3v3 up at the top rune spot. Queen of Pain picks it up, and Iceberg is stunned under Goddam's Burst Strike, but they turn to punch him, and it looks like they've got the kill with a toss. Goddam got way too far forward, overzealous with the moves, and up and in just trying to battle up again. But Shotchlow being held in place by Always Want to Fly, this Earth Spirit. Perfect rotation. Control this up, and Legion Commander making her way up from the bot lane. Comes in to heal a Tiny as well.
CIS Dota, 4v4 mid at 2 minutes, no big deal.
5 mid, let's go, let's do it, lads. I guess with the Slark now hitting level 3, the Pounce with the Fortune's End, it's not going to be an easy time for Afterlife. So it's time to farm into your Iron Talon, get that as quick as you can, and start spamming in the jungle. Try and get as much gold as possibly can, while Bat Rider, how was his lane up at top?
Terrible, but the difference is that in the last game, you were seeing an OD free farm top while an Ursa was contested bottom in a game that Ursa was really strongly countered. They do have some tools to lock down the Slark in this game, but he's getting free farm on a hero that's much, much less countered by the enemy lineup.
Illidan Specials, one of the few players to make Refresher on Slark, as one of his 7th slots.
Oh, he's insane. Illidan on Slark is really a level beyond.
Talk about Illidan, you're talking about your Anti-Mage, your Medusa, Slark, nasty little heroes that farm up and come out of nowhere with a massive amount of damage. What's the timing going to be here for HellRaisers? Because Slark does need that build-up time, Ashful of Treads, then the Blink or Shadow Blades. Usually, I'm a massive proponent of Shadow Blade. I just love that item on Slark, being able to kind of, you know, jimmy your way into these team fights. But having a Blink against Wisp is super effective. Having a Blink even against, you know, Lead Commander or the OD, maybe a little bit better than the Shadow Blade.
I just feel like the Shadow Blade brings so much to the table in terms of utility, because you can use that item to just reliably regen up as well, even when you're in vision.
And then you're going to be forcing Earth Spirit and Wisp to go fast and sensitive as well, limiting their economy. And as Iceberg just spams out these tosses, Apple Ninja is actually running low on the regen. Iceberg does not have that issue. With the behind him, bottles refilled. Iceberg, full mana, just keep spamming out these tosses. Keep the bottle flowing.
Yeah, I mean, you brought up Queen of Pain and her ability to sort of at least subsist in the lane against a tiny Wisp, but then you add in the fact that she has to play so carefully because of the long range initiation from the Earth Spirit. This is just such a tough position to be in. I think she's actually doing very well considering.
There's 4 heroes at the bot rune spot now. I mean, goddamn.
Like, stop being surprised. It's gonna happen in these games. Especially, I actually really like the Katsuya.
It's a Queen of Pain, yeah, Queen of Pain fine. But it's a dual lane mid already, Tiny Wisp. Yeah, I've got to stop being so surprised because it's already dual lane mid. Earth Spirit rotates in, then it's 3. Legion Commander can't go to off lane, so it's 4. But Sand King was trying to go and take a sneak little peek at what Afterlife has been doing. There are no stacks here. Have his Iron Talon, boots are available now, and he's hit level 4. I don't know though. With Darkseer and Batrider, it's kind of obvious, and the Tide Hunter, at a specific point, you can stop jungling and go back to lane. No, you look for like your level 3 on Darkseer, Batrider, level 4 maybe. Tide Hunter, you just kind of want the 2 or 3 points in Anchor Smash. But with Legion, is there a specific point where she can say, screw it, I'm going to be more efficient on lane than I am in the jungle? Mid lane, Apple Ninja rolled in, the perfect toss as well, the kill is there. Goddamn, not in time with his Burrow Strike.
Well, you know, I am an economist, Durka, so the answer is always going to be it depends. No,
how long is a piece of string?
There you go. On one hand, in this case, I think she's going to be okay when she gets enough support from her team. I don't think that she's going to necessarily be able to stand in lane against Illidan Slark with this kind of a lead at any point.
Now, Batrider has made a nice little stack for himself. Always on a fly, going to scout it out and ward on the high ground. Alright, they've still got this OD. I've not really been paying attention to him. He's 41 and 27. He's been free farming up here, but Illidan, 2 CS ahead. That's a massive difference. The drastic difference here in CS. Then now farming through the jungle and actually giving Dan some fun down on lane. So this opens things up for Afterlife's Legion. Actually return to this spot, but they're grouping up and looking for mid. Uppo is nearly level 6, and that's Sonic Wave. He's gone for the 3 in Scream build, not 2 in Shadow Strike. I just want to burst out this Wisp, but being spotted. There's no more form of initiation, really.
And then the number one thing about Illidan, though, is that just you cannot sleep on him, because you look at him playing a game like this and you say, man, he's farming so well, and you think he's just going to keep hard farming lanes, but he will come to fights at any time, at any point on the map.
Up here from nowhere. Ghost, an Enigma.
He actually, it is possible that he could just get a kill on this LC.
Sure, with Fortune's End starting things off from range, it makes it incredibly easy for Illidan to just line up the pounce and land it. I'm not sure of the interaction though with Press the Attack, Fortune's End. I assume debuffs. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, it would, because Press is a strong dispel.
Radiant's top tower.
But regardless, it's still going to give that time through the animation of Press the Attack. We'll be able to get the pounce lined up and still land it. As Goddamn finally able to try and take out this stack. He's hit level 3. There are the Tranquils. Waiting on that Blink Ether Lens now. Oh, Illidan, please give your Sand King some farm.
Come on, it's like watching Black, man. You just gotta expect it.
My creep. Oh, you nearly killed that creep. My creep. I didn't go for a Midas or anything. Afterlife. Oh, that's pretty nice. Leeching experience away from Goddamn, but Goddamn knows, and he's not killing anything off. He's trying to juke himself into a position where maybe he can stun down.
Yeah, that's very nice. She knows that he only has the level 2 Burrow Strike, so he's limited in terms of range.
Overwhelming odds thrown, but the camp is completely dead, and Afterlife, the pounce misses. It's gonna be okay with the Fortune's End coming out too late from Ivan. find the kill there.
Radiant's
Not on
top
top.
tower is under
Ramsey's
attack.
hammering away at this tier 1. Shachlo has to come back to try and react to this. 9 minutes in, Tranquil boots up, 600 gold. Too shabby.
You do. The tower still has a decent amount of life, so I guess you worry about it still. But this is also it's a Radiant tier 1 top tower. It is the least valuable tower on the map by a long way.
Safeguard too much. You very rarely TP react to a tier 1 up at top lane.
Exactly.
Oh, this Iceberg treads Bracer. Could finish off the drums, could be just casual Bracer. Wonder. Against these
Yeah,
mobile
you're the
heroes.
tiny player here, so I would lean toward going the drums here.
I would lean towards going Blink. Against Slark, Quap, Oracle, I think that Blink is just insta-kills all over the map. But like, having drums is good with the mana pool increase it gives you, being able to spam out on lane. Like, I'm torn between going Bracer Blink, then drums, and drums into Blink. For the amount of money saving up, I'm kind of leaning more towards him going Blink.
Yeah, he's probably got to be going Blink at this point, and it's the right decision certainly if you feel like your teammates are going to be able to help you force the action.
Well done. 1200 gold is net worth, just behind that of the OD. The action has subsided for a short amount of time here as both teams kind of content farming until Iceberg decides it's time to fight. Alpha
that's a DD rune
and
flop.
goddamn, Tranquil Boots, good movement speed running forward, but he's not going to be able to get there in time. Catch anyone out, and Afterlife. Well, level 7 Legion Commander, the toss, thrown down onto Alpha, 10 health. What he's left with, just about Iceberg doesn't have the Invoker to Sunstrike that one down.
Yeah, I don't think that was planned. I mean, good lord. I know you have a DD rune, but not a God mode rune.
Not invulnerable through that one. Ward coverage here for the Dire is pretty good though. Watching out Bat Riders every single movement. They've not actually made any great strides to go and pick him up or take him out until this exact moment when they've got full vision of him. Avalanche toss, dead guard flow, and you're stacked.
And
Gonna take it.
and now we've seen this Tiny get off to a pretty good start. He's got a solid net worth lead at this point. Boy, but they're gonna get the
Radiant structures are fortified.
no. It's just a wisp kill.
Yeah, they've slowed Bat Rider's blink quite significantly. Killing off the Wisp there is kind of
Radiant's top tower
he doesn't
has
lose
fallen.
much. In fact, let's have a quick look. He lost himself 179 gold. He did give the Slark a good chunk of cash though, which maybe is going to be the swinging factor there. I think, you know, it's not a meaningless kill by any means, but pretty good that Illidan got the final item and he's getting closer and closer to his item, which 2,000 gold is in the bank. Likely to be that Blink Dagger for himself.
Yeah, I still am a little bit apprehensive when you look at the space that Illidan has gotten in the first 12 minutes of this game and the fact that he's barely 400, 500 gold up on the Tiny right now. I don't think he's generated enough separation with the space that he's had.
An Afterlife. A hero that spent, you know, a grand total of 30 seconds in lane before leaving and going back into the jungle is now level 8. Oh, Shachlo, you're being chased out here. Ramsey's 10 stolen int. Really enough to throw the 70 clips. Goddamn with the stun in. They've got a rule. They do not have a relocate. And Ramsey's Illidan joins in. This is a fight we're talking about. He is part of the party. While Iceberg tries to clear him up and go black. The Sonic Wave with the Purified Flames will clear him out. And this Blink Dagger's gone. The Dark Courier is killed. Ivan is in a mix of everything. Oh, Goddamn, the Magnetize. It's killing them off one by one. And Ivan, the toss forward under the ultimate. The Pulse Pulse is down onto the Oracle. But I don't think this is going to be enough to keep him alive with Iceberg. One more Avalanche. The stick charge and the toss is there. Ivan tries again.
And that's like the OS Frog Bowl. Oracle against Earth Spirit.
Give
me a break.
That's Tiny's blink.
Radiant's middle tower
Down for
is
2.5
under
minutes.
attack.
I am absolutely flabbergasted. That's pretty much the single most detrimental thing that could have happened to Spirit's chances short of a full, like, a 4 or 5 hero wipe.
Because that Blink Dagger in the next 2 minutes, that's meant to get him, you know, 2 kills.
Exactly.
Not just 2 kills, but 2 kills on, like, key targets. The Quap, maybe look for the Sand King while he's getting this dagger. But the Slark, I think, more importantly, he is going for the Shadow Blade that you kind of like a little bit more.
It's impossible to overstate The return of the first item Blink Dagger build on Tiny, it's reinvented the hero. It has single-handedly brought that hero back into the metagame, made it potentially a top-tier pick for some teams again, and just not having that Blink Dagger in this crucial 3-minute span. I mean, look, he's going to get initiated on by Illidan here.
Oh, for sure. Shadow Strike to slow him down. They know that Godlike's waiting in the wings for that relocate save, but Godam's the one that's gone on. The relocate forward is an aggressive one onto Ivan, and the Oracle is down. Godlike gets pounced on by Illidan, but look at him heal through. Even with press the attack, he's not able to survive through it all. And the last one, the Iceberg, drags him up onto the high ground. Sandy's Eclipse clears them up, and that DPS from Ramses, the Orb effect, clearing them out, getting that in-gain up to 40 stolen.
That was so good by Spirit. They had the right ward placement. They knew exactly how HR were going to approach that fight. Man, that is just great team map awareness, great coordination there.
Take a look at the build on this Outworld Devourer. From Treads, perfectly normal, but no Run of Atos, no Force Staff. Straight into that BKB.
Yeah.
This is kind of like the Quap safe lane we used to see from a few Chinese teams. If they didn't feel Orchid was going to do anything for them, rush the BKB and just go and fight non-stop.
That's really... yeah, it's still a little bit odd to me given that HR do have some tools that go through that. And that's not by any means a get-out-of-jail-free card. Your positioning still needs to be pretty good in these fights.
Oh, for sure.
Usually when you're getting BKB this early, you gotta ask, is it a complete get out of jail free card? Are you gonna really be able to maximize the effectiveness of that 10 and 9 second charges?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it a safeguard mechanism to actually farm more securely? Like if he goes safe lane and pushes into a tier 2?
Ugh.
Or is it something where you don't like the passive plays? You're basically you are WCA.
Honestly, if your thought process is I have to get BKB to be safe, that's losing Dota.
Godam with a good game. Relocate down with a duel down. It's a good false promise. No Appling, he kept alive through it. There'll be no dual win here, but it looks like Team Spirit still doing a ton of damage through. The Epicenter's tickling them. Barely does a scratch of damage. There's YOLO Warrior. YOLO yourself out of this one. Iceberg, punch him, avalanche him, kill him. Finish him off. Fatality. HellRaisers. Lasso still available, but no blink, and a blink forward from Iceberg. He's utilizing it perfectly. Flame break, it pushes him forward, so Iceberg still gets the punches in, and Afterlife will get Astral through. Ramses battering onto Illidan. But this might be a fight that Illidan can continue to take. Afterlife is out, but Iceberg have a top, and the two of them are taken out, and Ramses with a double kill through them all. That combo.
Yeah. It's just so well played by Spirit. They have just turned it on in the last 5 minutes of this game.
Buyback from Sand King.
Yeah.
Spirit had their 15-minute break. They went out for, whatever they do, bit of fresh air. And all of a sudden in this game, they are crushing.
Again, not to harp on it too much, but we've talked a lot today about tier 2 teams, tier 3 teams kind of looking to make that transition, looking to move up. And I think we talked about earlier the way you respond as an individual player to a bad early game start. Equally important is the way that you respond as a team after a loss, after a bad game. And I just love the way that Spirit are responding here in this match.
It's particularly difficult if your Batrider is still 700 gold away from Blink Dagger at 18 minutes. This is something that...
We talked about it though at the very beginning, that even as a 4th overall pick, they still already had ways to deal with the Batrider. You have the Earth Spirit and the OD, both of which are able to short circuit Batrider's combo. So I think it was gonna be a tough Batrider game, even if he had gotten off to a really good early game start.
Where do you find your items? Tough one. Start slow.
And again, you're forced to try and split these neutral creep farm, this neutral creep farm between your Sand King and your Batrider, which is exactly the situation that you want to avoid.
Yeah, the jungle is constricted. It's overflowing and saturated with heroes. I mean, even first 5 or 6 minutes, even Illidan was farming the jungle, moving himself off lane to give the Oracle some time to get some experience. So you have got potentially 3 or 4 heroes around in that jungle area.
Dire's
Then
bottom
you look
tower is under
away
attack.
from the bat, away from the Sand King, who need these, you know, key initial items, the Blink Daggers,
Here's the
right?
relocate.
Oh, they caught someone off guard. Like the Bat Rider is gonna flap himself away. Okay
Yeah,
for now, but guess who's in from the side? Ramses is ready. That's close. Very perceptive, moves further south, but this has put himself in a very interesting situation where he flies up, he flies down, into the river and back again, and Ramses has his number.
Yeah, it was kind of a cute idea there, actually. Shachla tried to pop a smoke just to escape, and it almost worked. But yeah, you're just so far behind at this point. Ordinarily, you'd have your blink and it wouldn't be a problem.
But yeah, there's these key Blink Dagger timings you need on, well, not really timing, just key Blink Daggers you need on Bat Rider and Sand King. But take a look at Queen of Pain. Level 9, limited item regression always when a flag gets picked up, this will boost her a little bit, up 1200 gold. What do you aim for as a Queen of Pain in this situation, where it's 20 minutes in and you have nothing?
God, you almost have to fall back on the Yules as much as it just, like, threw up in my mouth a little bit saying that in this particular game.
I think she has to rush BKB. Except
Probably right.
you can't rush anything when you're 6 feet under, apparently. Just
has been
absolutely
killed.
annihilated by the Tiny. Dice
And you know what? I take that back for the simple reason of part of the value of rushing Yules is you get the mana to farm, but what are you going to farm? You already have 3 heroes that want to farm ancient camps on your team.
Difficult, man.
Yeah, that's the issue. That this HR lineup, it's not. This draft isn't that bad, but it's a draft that really needed to get a map control advantage early on. Illidan, this is not your fight.
On that back getting killed off, a good relocating it looks like there. It's Iceberg not giving up, they'll tether back the lane. Forefront is Ramses with his Blink BKB. I mean, Aegis is still on the Tiny, right? Another 2 minutes?
And
Close to 2 minutes. Illidan has yet to find a foothold in this game. You know, he's found a couple of sneaky little pickoffs here and there, but in the grand scheme of things, in a 5v5 team fight, which is what's brewing here, Team Spirit will not let you get away with just taking picks here and there.
Radiant's middle
How
tower
does
is
Illidan
under
fare in a
attack.
5v5?
it's not just the 5v5, it's the fact that it's a 5v5 where basically everybody on their team except for Earth Spirit is farmed. Your
Radiant's
Wisp
middle
is
tower
farmed.
has fallen.
Wisp has a bigger net worth than 4 of your 5 heroes. And,
Dire's
you know,
top
Slark,
tower
you need to be able to
is
dance
under
around the edges of a team fight and pick people off. And you just can't do that when the enemy team is this far ahead.
Press the attack on Tiny. Oh, I always forget about this. Press the attack, like, we used to see press the attack alacrity combo off the Tiny, you just whacks away at these buildings. Nice to see. There was an
top tower is
American
under
team,
attack.
Enemy GG, BSJ team, where they run like a Baden, Clone Druid, Invoker, Ogre, or they run like a Terrorblade with all these steroid abilities.
Yeah, that's actually disgusting.
Yeah, and they end games like if they do well in laning phase, they end games in 16 minutes. Ivan's dead, like, honestly, good dual win, but an Epicenter through them all, kills off 2, Sonic Wave back from Ninja, kills another Iceberg with the agent still available, heals up by Black, but he's gonna get a eclipse onto both of them. As Ramses and Iceberg clean up shot, spot buys back, Iceberg TP's out. They got the tier 3 in a team fight win. Team Spirit relatively happy with it, especially with that Queen of Pain expending even more of her hard-earned cash to forego the item progression she needs to buy back into nothingness.
Yeah. It's just one of those where you're fighting hard to stay alive, but your win condition is just continuing to shrink and shrink.
3,200 gold. Iceberg, what are you gonna spend all this money on?
And she's gonna go. Queen of Pain is gonna go ahead and go into the Ags. Man, I don't know about that.
It's gonna take too long.
I agree.
She has, well, the game's gonna be over before she finishes it off, unless they get 2 team wipes where she gets a bunch of the kills. She only has point booster, not even an Ogre Club.
Yeah, I'll be honest. In terms of thinking about her next item, that was not even on my radar.
Well, Tiny does
Radiant's
what
bottom
Tiny
tower
does best.
has fallen.
Clears up buildings, and with a BKB, Team
Yeah.
Spirit, they've got 2 cores which are nigh invulnerable here up against HellRaisers. Sure, you can lasso, you can Sonic Wave, you can hit them with Slark. But if
Yeah,
they
but
can stand their ground and just fight back,
Right. At the end of the day, you know, we talked about HR having some tools that do go through the BKB, but at the end of the day, you still got to do enough damage to kill
Radiant's
him.
bottom tower is under
And how are you gonna, you know, with the BKB, Tiny's gonna be 2-3k HP or something. You know, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna get through that HP even if you disable him?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's
Oh,
bottom
tiny.
tower is fortified.
Basically doubles his attack speed. Oh damn. What are you up to? The lens, I guess, is going to be his next item of choice. Just increase that range, get a bit more damage out of things. Of course, decent high ground defense we'll hear from HellRaisers if they get that initial jump. But it's not them that's getting the jump, it's Sharkflow being dueled up and killed off, and that's more damage. The Afterlife's Legion Commander here,
Yeah,
and also
and you don't. This was not your plan with this lineup. I know that's the most obvious statement in the history of Earth, but you contrast it with Empire earlier in the day, where they had that wombo combo focused lineup. HR has some high ground defense, but this is not a lineup built from behind.
Oh man, Illidan.
Illidan, wow, that used to be a fish.
No longer.
Goodness.
He was a denizen of the reef.
Dire's top
Ow.
tower is under attack.
And now he is a
Illidan.
dead fish sandwich.
He ends up,
Oh,
he ends up
boy.
in McDonald's. Who buys those fish sandwiches from McDonald's anyway? I never understand.
Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to. Like,
Radiant's
Have you ever had?
if you buy those sandwiches, that's great. I just don't want to know.
Have you ever had one?
are fortified.
Oh goodness!
See, I've never had one, and I know that people buy them because McDonald's still sells them. But I can never understand who enjoy whatever.
There are just certain things, not to whack this up, but there are certain things in life that I choose not to contemplate.
Radiant's middle barracks are under
Slug there
attack.
for 10 seconds. There's smoke from Team Spirit, keeping Tiny sneakily up on the front line, so just go in and hit the racks. No glyph, no defense.
Smoke was a please Radiant do something stupid.
Yeah, Radiant, come and
Radiant's
jump
middle
onto our
barracks
Outworld
is
Devourer, where he can BKB in turn and fight you. Roshan up in 15 seconds, and it's just going to be systematic here from Spirit. Mid-racks to bot-racks and Illidan. Red Gem, is there any reveal here on the Dire side? It doesn't look like
And
there
does
is.
it matter? I mean,
Shadowblade's about to wear off. He's actually moving forward to look for the attack onto Ramsey. Pops his BKB, but I'm not sure this is enough damage. The rest of his team not paying attention. Godlike heals up with a mech, and now Astral through as Alpha Ninja blinks aggressively forward to scream and get silenced and dueled and killed out. There's no buyback on your Quap, and I think this is just it. Godlike will barely escape. He's keeping himself sustained through all of this damage, and GG is cold.
Radiant's
26 minutes.
under attack.
I mean, it looks like an awkward fight by Illidan, but honestly, that's the only thing that he could even try to do there, is just try and jump in and get the Wisp kill first. This game was just very, very well played by Spirit. I thought they won the draft. It wasn't as big a draft advantage as some of the other matches that we've seen today, but their execution starting at about 11-12 minutes into this game was just probably the best that we've seen all day long, and HR was never able to match it.
Well, with that, we do move out of CIS and into EU West. We're only 20 minutes behind schedule.